You can't say Spanky ain't bringing you any excitement today. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Hey, in the last episode, I left you right here with a 61 Impala gauge cluster. Now it's time to bond it to the pop middle dash. All right, we're taking a little field trip. We're running up to O'Reilly's Auto Parts to get a part, and it's Elvis week. So the store happens to be on Elvis Presley Boulevard, so I'm going to take you guys past Graceland. And there might be a couple 100,000 people out there. I don't know. Let's go find out. All right, so I'm gonna give you a drive down Elvis Presley Boulevard. This is where Elvis lived. And it don't look like much, does it, guys? We're gonna swing in here, grab some parts real quick, and then we'll run past his house and see what kind of action's going on down there. Repo man, I hope he's not after me. All right, we got what we needed for today. Now let's run you guys by Graceland, and pardon the French, but get the heck out of here. Yeah, back in the day, Whitehaven was really, really cool. We would come out here and street race. The Summer Avenue boys would come out and street race the Whitehaven boys, and it all made for a good time. Right up here on the right, I worked at RHS, just a short time at this location, Racing Head Service, which later became Comp Cams. We were right up here on the right in a little bitty building. Fun times, great memories. But guys, this area has changed. So if anybody's coming to Graceland and you're not familiar with the Memphis area or the Graceland area, give me a call and I'll tell you where to stay, where not to stay, and what to do. So Graceland's just a little ways down here on the right. I'll show you RHS building is where they started, the location where everything started. It used to sit right here where Krispy Kreme's sits, right here near the corner of Rains Road. And that's where they started the speed shop, which became huge. Yeah, this area here, not to knock down Graceland, but man, I cannot believe how it's changed over the years. All right, well, Graceland's just right up here on the right. Like I said, we're gonna do a drive-by and show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll spin around and come back by the other side. Like I said, I don't know what to expect up here because this is we're a couple of days past the anniversary of his death. And I'm not a big Elvis aficionado or anything like that. Over on the left, you can see the new area. It's got car museums of Elvis's cars, and I was fortunate enough to put tires on most of those when the museum opened up, but not when Elvis owned them. So there's Graceland, guys. You can see the wall where everybody's written on the wall, and things have calmed down. The last couple of days, there's been thousands of people out here, candlelight visuals. I just thought I'd give you guys a drive-by. I know you can't see much from this, but there's plenty of other videos on YouTube about Graceland and Elvis's house. I just thought I'd make this opportunity a little bit cooler by bringing you guys along for the ride and showing you what I was seeing at Graceland. And they waited till it was all over to dig the street up. Across the street, you'll see two of Elvis's planes, his private jet, and the Lisa Marie. If you're planning on coming, it's a real nice hotel, but I would not get out after dark. And it's copied off of Graceland, the design. Well, folks, that was it. That was Graceland. I want to take you guys on a hot rod tour of the Memphis music scene. Go past a bunch of houses and stuff. If y'all are interested in that, just give this video a like and I'll know that that's something that you want to do. Memphis is rich in history of music, and I know where a lot of the folks lived. So we might want to do a hot rod tour of Memphis. That would be pretty cool. Maybe you go see where Johnny Cash played his first concert. Go see where Elvis cut his first record. You guys want to see that? Let me know. You can't say Spanky ain't bringing you any excitement today. Got a fire going. It's a bad day for that guy. All right, so we're back from our field trip, O'Reilly's, Elvis, and the fire. And here's the mystery package that we got. This is a 3M panel bond. Part number is 8115. And they make an 8116 that's Chrysler approved, et cetera, and they make a few other options. But what this product is, it is to bond your late model cars together. I mean, they use rivets and stuff like that on some of those, but instead of welding the fenders to the body, they use a series of rivets, but mostly it's this panel bond. Once it's applied properly, you cannot pull the metal apart without ripping the metal itself first. The seams stay good and welded, but if you're like me and you're a hot rodder, you'll find other uses for this product. Now, it's a two-part product. It goes in a caulking gun that has two plungers. Bottom of the tube has got access for two plungers, and it has a mixing tip on it that allows the products to mix together, and it becomes just like a liquid weld, so to speak. 5,000 times greater than your OJB weld. But it is an epoxy, and man, you can drill, tap, thread it if you wanted to. There's so many different things, but that's not its intended use. So what we're gonna do, we're going to bond this metal dash overlay that we did for the Impala onto a pot metal dash. You can't weld those two together, so the next best thing is to glue them together. This will hold forever, but I've tested it out with all my clamps, making sure that everything is flat and good to go. Next step is to start putting this panel bond on. So let's get started. All right, so right here, I need to knock down a few of our tack welds and make it to where it's a little bit cleaner. This would be very hard to do once it's bonded to the larger portion of the dash because I can't get down to the edges. So let's knock this down real quick and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, so the time has come to bond the panel that we made to the stock panel, being pot metal and steel. I took my 36 grit wheel and went around everything that needs to be bonded on the panel and the original gauge cluster. So now we've got this welded up and it's time to bond these two together. Now I've got all my clamps and stuff together. I've gone around and I've made sure that it's all clamped, that it can be clamped in all the areas that needs to be clamped. And then I outline the area not to put the panel bond past. So let's get this panel bond open and see if it'll do its job. I got 90 minutes worth of work time and it cures in 24 hours. That's about the only way that you're gonna hook these two pieces together unless you bolt them together. And we don't want any fasteners. We want this all to look like it's a factory unit when it's finished. Let's get after it. All right, so this is the gun, like a caulking gun, but it's like a double caulking gun. Panel bond goes in, and it's got a mixing tip on it. And the mixing tip just mixes the A and the B together, and it comes out in the ratio that it's supposed to be. One-time use tips, you have to buy extra, and then you plug this all up, and the panel bond should last a little while. You want to try to use it quick, get what you need done, and then close it all back up because it cures in 90 minutes or 24 hours, but 90 minutes worth of work time. All right, so let's get this thing glued up. Wish me luck. One time only. This tube of epoxy right here, panel bond, is around 70 to 75 bucks. I wasted about $15 of it with this thing right here, with the tips breaking off and this old gun and it trying to squirt out the epoxy. So hopefully I didn't mess up the container. But anyway, we got a new epoxy gun. We're gonna give it a test and see how good it works. All right, so my product here is 2 to 1. 2 to 1. This is also got a small and a large piston in it for 2 to 1. It also comes with another piston nozzle so you can swap it out and do 1 to 1 ratio. But it will hold, I think this is the 200 milliliter container that goes in here. You can get larger ones if you wanted to that hold the longer caulk tubes, but this is what I used, this is what I needed, and I felt like the long version that I had right here was part of the problem that was kicking it sideways. Now I had this one for a long time. The little end of it fell off there. It rolled under the workbench, but it has an end on it just like it does on the other side right there. So anyway, that's where we're at. Let's load this thing up and see how good it's gonna do. All right, we need to go put a nozzle on it and see if it squirts. All right, this is take 2 after the disaster of messing up the epoxy gun that I've had for so many years. I had to get another one off Amazon. So we are exactly 24 hours later, thanks to them for getting the new gun here so quick. And now we're laying down the epoxy and clamping it down. All right, now that I've got the epoxy under the panel and it's clamped down, I'm gonna go around the edges and give it a little bit more. And that's gonna allow me to help flow that metal out to the original dash. So as you just saw, I got the new panel bond gun out and got this thing bonded together. This panel bond is oozing out a little bit around the edges, but that's fine. Those edges are going to be floated out with body filler, fiberglass, and panel bond. Once we get that done, I'll go back around the cluster, get that all seam sealed or panel bonded around the edges where we spot welded it. I didn't want to like fully weld it because it's not going to be seen, and even if I TIG'd it, it would warp a lot of this. So didn't want to do that. That panel in the back that we just panel bonded needed to be not warped. All right, so we get back on this one in a minute. make that 24 hours. We'll remove these clamps. So I'll see you then.
I went out of town for the Frog Follies, and there's some videos of that coming up soon. I went live, you probably saw that. And I don't know if this video will come out before that video. But hey, let's unclamp the dash and see how the panel bond's set up. Now, after I got through putting it under this panel to glue the panel to the pot metal, I went ahead and went around the edges with it so that the panel bond is very, very close to like a metal product versus fiberglass or Bondo. So just in case heat gets to it or stress or anything like that, I went ahead and did the panel bond, and I can sand it just like Bondo or fiberglass. Not as easy, but it works. So that's going to cover up the gap left by the thickness of the metal. Let's get this thing unclamped and see if it holds up. All right, so I got it unclamped. I'm gonna stand this thing up and let you guys see it. That's how it's tilted in the car. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's gonna look like. It just gives it a different look, gives it more of a muscle car look. And with me, it's all about being artistic. Dare to be different, guys. I can go buy another one of these panels on eBay for a couple of $100 if it didn't turn out, but I would have never known what it was going to look like unless I did it like this. Now, it'll be totally different from any other 61 Impala out there, unless somebody duplicates this, which is fine with me. You know, copying is just flattery, right? So, yeah, let me know what you think about it. I'm really curious. It still has a long ways to go. We're gonna utilize the blank spot to the right of the driver with something maybe not. We're gonna fill this blank in where the AC controls used to be and probably hide them somewhere. Don't really wanna see those, don't need them, but we're not gonna hide the stuff that you're gonna use a lot. Headlights, wipers, and the key. And we may do something a little different than the key. Now I like keys. I'm not a push button kind of guy, but you never know. We'll play with some stuff and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, please. And keep following along. The 61 Impala project, we touch on it about once a month, and it is going to be very unique. And it'll probably, well, I'm not even gonna say where it's gonna debut, but it's somewhere very, very cool when it's done. So not pushing to try to get it done for that, but just wait and see. Anyway, if you're through watching, get out in the garage and go build something. Like, tag, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support. See you in the next episode.